All right, let's talk about Star Fox and what's going on here with the launch, because it has exploded on the scene. People have finally gotten their hands on this highly anticipated remake of Star Fox 64, which essentially Star Fox 64 is a remake or reimagining thingy of Star Fox from the Super Nintendo, but that doesn't matter because now we finally have it in glorious HD running at 60 frames per second and a bunch of new things added in, like online multiplayer, expert challenges, and just fine-tuning to the overall package, plus the really nice new graphics and cutscenes surrounding that. It really fleshes out the environment, the world, and what Star Fox is, and players are captivated at this point, and maybe so captivated to the point to where it's selling out at retail places. But before we continue, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 at 140,000 subscribers, or on September 1st, whichever comes first. Subscribe, like, comment. The winner will be chosen at random, and it's a worldwide giveaway. Thanks, peeps. Let's get into it. So over on Twitter, you have seen a few people state that Star Fox in multiple areas in their store or multiple locations in their area have completely sold out of the game, stating that they're not upset. This is great news for the franchise. And I kind of went to investigate a little bit. I did see copies of Star Fox at my local Walmart, but there have been other reports of people stating that Star Fox is sold out. I think it's really dependent on where your store is, what type of inventory you get, and just kind of like the base. Some people in some places are generally focused or highlighted with Switch 2. There's more Switch 2s in certain locations than other locations. It's really spread out when it comes down to that overall. So yeah, there will be some places that it's more dense, that people will go out there and get a game, and it'll be harder to find than in other places. So I don't think there's some type of nationwide shortage or sellouts of Star Fox, but what we are seeing is that there is a steady flow of people buying Star Fox. There's people that are picking it up, and I think that it's doing considerably better than Star Fox Zero. So that's a start. Now, yes, Star Fox Zero didn't do that great on the Nintendo Wii U, but that was the last major Star Fox game to come out, which was a reimagining thingy of Star Fox 64, but greatly expanded, a bunch of different gameplay, new levels, all sorts of stuff. So it's not essentially the same thing as Star Fox here on the Nintendo Switch 2. And I'd have to say, out of all the Star Fox games that I've played, and I've played pretty much all of them, this one on the Nintendo Switch 2 is by far the best Star Fox game, at least in my opinion. The visuals, the frame rate, the graphics, the playability, the replay value, the online multiplayer, the cutscenes, some of the features, fleshing out of the world, the holograph, like everything that this game does to me is just better than pretty much all of the other Star Fox games. And it really starts to engross you in the world. I think the visuals are brilliant with this game. And I knew that eventually people would come around to this new look, because this was the look and this was the realistic graphic style that Star Fox was always meant to have when they used those puppets back in 1993 when they were first promoting the game, and they even had a real fox inside of a spacesuit in an airplane. So to me, at least, that's what Star Fox was supposed to be. Not an anime type character thing, but more of this realistic pilots inside of this really gritty, dark type of world with a lot of wit and humor. And Star Fox on the Nintendo Switch 2 displays that to great level of success. So I do think that people are picking it up more than what you'd usually see for a Star Fox game, at least in the modern era or anywhere in the last 20 years. I think that this is the most popular Star Fox probably since Star Fox 64. It's going to sell anywhere between 2 million units to 4 million units that I'm estimating, and that would put it as popular as Star Fox on the Super Nintendo or Star Fox on the 64. Both of those sold around 3 million to 4 million units when it comes to those two games. So I see Star Fox on the Switch 2, when it's all said and done, selling around that, or even potentially better. It's priced well too, so that's definitely a good thing. So go out there, guys, pick up Star Fox, play it. It's awesome. I've been playing it, completed my first run recently, going in for my second run, trying to get the medals. Check out the online multiplayer. Star Fox is a really good game, and it brings you back to what games were. That arcade action, pick up and play, get a mission in, get a couple different things in, and then go about, do whatever you need to do. It's a very engrossing game in that type of way, and it respects your time too when it comes to that. So can't say enough good things about Star Fox, but I wanted to kind of just add on to that a little bit about the sales, because what we can see is that we can see over on Amazon with the new releases, and that gauges the popularity of games that have came out within the last like couple months or few months to recent releases. and Star Fox is still the #1 game on there, moving tens of thousands of units at different distribution centers across the US. So Star Fox, #1 there, ahead of Tomodachi Life, ahead of Mario Tennis Fever, which actually has a discount down to $50. So I think that's the reason why that game is moving up the charts there. But yeah, it's very good. One of the things that we do know about the Nintendo Switch 2, at least, and Nintendo Switch 1, is that this system, Nintendo fans buy physical more than PlayStation and Xbox fans. So you're always going to see Nintendo Switch 1 or Nintendo Switch 2 games at the top of the charts. And a game like Star Fox, which really is for the old heads out there. Of course, people that are new or younger people are going to play Star Fox and enjoy it or like it, but Star Fox is an old franchise. It's 30 plus years old at this point, and people that grew up with Star Fox when they were kids, they're the ones that remember the physical cartridges. They're the ones who remember Star Fox on the Super Nintendo, Fox McCloud on there, or Star Fox 64, and how awesome it was to get that package and take the cartridge and put that into your system and play it. Now, Star Fox is also doing really good on the eShop, and sure, it's a very convenient game to have eShop, #free game, shoutouts to Nintendo for the free code, but I also bought the game physical as well, because I remember that feeling in 1993 when I asked my parents to get me Star Fox, and it was awesome. And even when I asked for Star Fox 64 in the late 90s. So it's just a great feeling to see Star Fox come back in this type of way, real arcade action, doing well and resonating with old school gamers, in addition to getting new players to hop on as well. And I think that that's going to actually roll into something else that we're seeing with Star Fox, and there's some new talks with Nintendo and Universal to bring Star Fox rides, or a Star Fox ride, to its theme park. So let's get into this here. So Nintendo has been branching out to other medias besides games, and it looks as though the results have been paying off. One avenue Nintendo has been involved in is its Super Nintendo World attraction, and apparently it's looking to expand that with a Star Fox attraction. Nintendo is apparently in the talks with Universal to bring a Star Fox themed ride to theme parks. That's not all, as Universal is seemingly banking big on Nintendo's IP, with the lands of Hyrule and Pokemon coming at a later date. So that's pretty much the rumors right now, is that Universal is looking to get Star Fox involved. And I would think that with Star Fox's inclusion in the Mario Galaxy movie, which was seen by millions upon millions of people and generated over $1 billion at the box office, and is going to do a lot of Blu-ray sales and streams and everything, I think that's a really good idea. Capitalize on it. You've got the game, you've got the movie that Star Fox is in, you've got all this different type of stuff that's working for it. This is probably the most talked about and the most popular period for Star Fox in 30 years. It's really been that long, or in a lot of years. It's been really long since we've seen Star Fox at this point when it comes to popularity and people talking about it. The games have not been as popular or relevant or even reviewed as good. The last Star Fox game to even review as high, which this game, Star Fox on the Switch 2, has an 82 on Metacritic. The last time that we saw that was Star Fox 64 3D on the Nintendo 3DS more than a decade ago. So it's been a long time since he's been as revered in the media when it comes to its games, and it's been a long time since people have been talking about him in something popular like with Mario. So to me, at least, this is the perfect opportunity to bring Star Fox back. I think that Nintendo nailed it out of the park when it comes to bringing back an old or classic IP and setting it up for success. Don't just bring it back just because you want to bring it back, but actually have a solid plan to help to get new fans in so the franchise can continue. So this was awesome. They handled it a lot better, in my opinion at least, than when they brought back Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus Uprising, fantastic game, but there wasn't really anything else planned around Kid Icarus Uprising. It was just the game on the Nintendo 3DS, which was doing okay, but it wasn't doing like crazy good sales like the DS was. So it kind of lowered the impact that maybe Kid Icarus Uprising could have had with the newer audience that didn't grow up with Kid Icarus. So I think that they handled it this time with Star Fox really good, and I'm very happy to see this. Hopefully we get that new attraction and ride. And there is talks too. I think there's rumors about a potential Star Fox movie too. So I'm pretty sure all of Nintendo's IPs for the most part are on the table, or there's definitely companies reaching out and asking, hey, can we get that IP for a movie after seeing the success of the Mario movie. Obviously, we have the Zelda movie coming, so I think that there's going to be a lot of cool things happening with the Star Fox IP, and it all kind of got going with the Mario Galaxy movie and then leading into the Star Fox game. And I do think that that's going to lead into other things being very successful with Nintendo, because we've got a look, and I usually don't cover this, but I want to talk about it today, and that's the Famitsu Most Wanted. And there's a lot of games on this list that I'm looking forward to that I think are going to do really well and help push systems quite a bit, and even just be great games just in general. So they usually do a top, I think it's like top 20, but we got the top 10 here. We're gonna go from the bottom to the top, and I want to list off a couple of different things that I'm excited for, and I talked about this in my upcoming games list, or more like I'm going to make a big upcoming games list. Kyoto Xanadu, looking forward to that one. Onimusha, Way of the Sword, Grand Theft Auto 6, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, super excited for that game. Rhythm Heaven Groove, Persona 4 Revival, Goemon at number 3, Splatoon Raiders at number 2, and Pokemon Winds and Waves at number 1. And that's kind of what I want to focus on. Splatoon Raiders I'm picking up. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, that's probably my most anticipated game, and I've talked about that quite a bit. I'll have plenty of videos leading into the launch of that game, so we can definitely discuss it at a different time. Rhythm Heaven, I'm getting Persona 4 Revival. But Pokemon Winds and Waves, people are underestimating what this game is going to do next year for the Nintendo Switch 2. One of the things that I've talked about before is that you can't have everything blast onto a system all at the beginning. I think sometimes a lot of core Nintendo fans get a little bit antsy when it comes to what type of game should be coming. They think every month there should be a new Mario, new Zelda, new Pokemon, you know, new Smash Brothers. Every single month, back to back to back, you just kind of blow everything that you got within the first month or something like that, or within the first year, and that's what it's supposed to be. And that's not how you do a console generation. How you do a console generation is that you have a consistent flow of good hits mixed in with smaller games, mixed in with remakes, remasters, ports, other releases, third-party games, so that you pace yourself throughout the whole generation to keep interest. Because if you just blow out all the games that you have early, you're not going to have anything late, considering how long it takes to develop games. Pokemon Winds and Waves in the third calendar year of the Nintendo Switch 2, so 2025 first calendar year, 2026, which we're in right now, second calendar year, 2027 calendar year 3 for the Nintendo Switch 2, but of course going on year 2 if you talk about it when it comes to the actual amount of time. But Pokemon Winds and Waves is going to be a massive driver. I see this game being the highest quality Pokemon game that we've gotten ever when it comes to just the visual look of the game. I think that since they've gotten way more time to make the game, it's going to have significantly less issues that other Pokemon games have had at launch, especially Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, where that launched visually and I would say even just gameplay wise with a lot of issues, frame rate issues, connection issues, multiplayer issues, all sorts of stuff. Still a very fun game if you can get past a lot of that, but the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with the update significantly improved all of the technical aspects of it, even though it was patched for the Switch 1, and of course made the resolution significantly better. So that was a thing, but it still looks bad. It still looks like that Switch 1 game, whereas Pokemon Winds and Waves, although it's not taking from what we've seen so far, it's not going to be the most graphically intense game on the Nintendo Switch 2, but is a big jump over what we got from the Nintendo Switch 1 and what we've gotten from the Pokemon Company before. And once again, that extra time that they've gotten to make this game, I think is going to make it even better. It's going to sell a ton of systems, and something that I've been seeing kind of growing, I would say, popularity to discuss with Pokemon Winds and Waves is a new model for the Nintendo Switch 2, potentially a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite, to go along with the handheld nature of Pokemon Winds and Waves, and a Nintendo Switch Lite that has a design for Pokemon Winds and Waves. I think that would just be another booster for the hardware. I think that it's already going to sell a ton of hardware just with that game. But if you have special themed hardware based around one of the most anticipated games worldwide with one of the biggest, if not the biggest entertainment brand worldwide, I think that's going to blow things up even further. And they did that multiple times with the Nintendo Switch 1. You got special themed hardware for that system, so I can see that happening here with Pokemon Winds and Waves, and it's already shooting up to the top of most anticipated, and I think it's going to be highly anticipated for a lot of people, not just for the Famitsu readers in Japan. So what do you think about everything that we discussed here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, peeps, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.